Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Wednesday's, yes, Wednesday's edition of the dceu Daily. Do I look tired? Because I am effing tired. I went to bed at 5 a.m. because I was following the events of the Warner Brothers CinemaCon panel, the DC element of it, because I wanted to talk about it today, and I'm really excited. I haven't been so proud to be a DC and WB stan for such a long time. I've listed all your headlines here. I'm going to read them out to you so you understand what's going on. We're going to read some articles. There's lots of details. None of the sizzle reels or trailers have been released, but the descriptions by journalists, and I thank those journalists, have been absolutely fantastic. Right. So Steve Weintraub of Collider unofficially asked Toby Emmerich on the progress of a Superman movie. Now, Steve Weintraub said he was given details, but he wasn't sure if it was an off-the-record conversation. So all he could say is that progress is being made on a Superman movie. I repeat, this came from Toby Emmerich's mouth. Progress is being made on a Superman movie. Now, what we don't know, and what Steve Weintraub may know, I don't know if he takes bribes, if it's a Golden Age Superman movie that's progressing or a Henry Cavill Superman movie progressing. Could it be one in the same? So, exclusive from Toby Emmerich, a Superman movie is progressing very well. I am excited. Superman is my favorite superhero. Superman the movie, the first film I ever saw. So wow, just wow. Now, David Zaslav, before CinemaCon, actually did a question and answer session about Warner Brothers Discovery, not happy that Warner Media wasted a lot of money chasing the streaming dream. He confirmed they won't be doing that. But the most important line of dialogue that David spoke was, we're building a very long-term brand with DC. I repeat, David Zaslav says, we're building a very long-term brand for DC. So what does this mean? It means they're going to release all this content they've already made, but there's a separate plan for longevity and branding for the DC live-action universe. Again, very exciting. So let's go down the headlines. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and overpowered Black Manta unites Aquaman and all. Something we've suspected for a long time. There's new creatures, new ships. The CGI is a lot better, reports are saying. So really excited for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Reports are confirming what I said to you. Amber Heard's role is very small in the movie. Black Adam is inspired by Clint Eastwood. I've got lots of articles, or I've got at least one article to read about that. I will give you details. Batman 2 is in official development. It was such a big news day at the Warner Brothers DC panel that comes down. We knew the Batman was happening. We know, despite what propaganda merchants were saying, the Batman was a success. So the Batman has officially been greenlit. And that doesn't include the Arkham spin-off on HBO Max and the Penguin spin-off on HBO Max as well. So Matt Reeves is going to be very busy. He was there. I'm very, very excited. Shazam, Fury of the Gods teases Wonder Woman. Now, if you watched my video about a month or two ago about the leaked footage from Shazam, Fury of the Gods, you know that Wonder Woman does show up in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. But what they teased isn't her cameo. It's actually something else. It's kind of a dream or a fantasy from Billy Batson because he's got a big crush on Wonder Woman. So basically, let me tell you this. Everything that was being seen was very well received. So Keaton's Batman tease for The Flash. And I can tell you right now, he actually says the immortal line in the Flash movie. And they showed it at CinemaCon. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. He says that in the Flash movie. Wow, I'm so hyped. And Michael Shannon Zod confirmed for the Flash movie as well. Something, thanks to all these bloody leaks, that I think is embarrassing for the studio. We knew he was coming back anyway. It's been confirmed. It's great. Bat Super, good morning. Good morning to you, Bat Super. Right. Now, I want to deal with any comments I get because that's why I do the shows live. But it's very important I focus on all this stuff for you so you understand what went down on CinemaCon. So if I do miss a chat, please don't be offended because it's really important. The chatting I like to do with you guys is in the evening anyway, but there's so much to get through here. I really, really want to focus. It's so important because you don't know anything I don't know. So sit back and enjoy. John, good morning. Good morning, John. Sit back and enjoy. Let me update you on the amazing things that went down at Warner Brothers DC panel at CinemaCon last night. Carl Williams, I heard Black Adam is really big and they are keeping those scenes close to their chest. I really can't wait. Yes, I'm going to go through all of it with you. So as I say, sit back and enjoy. So let's focus on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is by John Delos of Screen Rant. Aquaman 2 footage, description, Black Manta's villain origin continues. Warner Brothers unveils footage from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at CinemaCon, and it shows Black Manta's villain origin continuing from the first film, which is very exciting. Warner Brothers screened new footage from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at CinemaCon. That confirms Black Manta's villain origin story continues. The DCEU film is a direct sequel to 2018's Aquaman, which starred Jason Momoa as the titular hero. Otherwise known as Arthur Curry, the sixth film in the DC Extended Universe also saw Yahya Abdul-Mateen II portray a ruthless pirate and mercenary David Kane, who dons an Atlantean-powered suit to become Black Manta and take on Momoa's character. Both will return for Aquaman 2, which was delayed from December 22nd to March 2023. Let me say that again. From December 2022 to March 2023. Aquaman briefly presented Black Manta's origin story when it revealed Arthur killed the leader of a pirate gang attempting to hijack a Russian submarine. David, the son of the slain pirate leader, vows revenge against Arthur. Later on in Aquaman, the present king of Atlantis, Orm, Marius Patrick Wilson, gifts David the Atlantean battlesuit to kill Arthur. David christens himself as Black Manta and manages to injure Arthur. However, Arthur ultimately defeats him. Despite that, Aquaman's mid-credit scene shows marine biologist Dr. Stephen Shin, Randall Park, rescue David, who agrees to lead Shin to the fabled Atlantis in exchange for his help in getting revenge on Arthur. During Warner Brothers' presentation at CinemaCon, which Screen Rant was present for, the studio premiered new footage from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Although not a ton of footage from the actual movie is shown, it does briefly tease Black Manta's villain origin continuing. The teaser opens with Black Manta on a brand new ship, and it appears a dark energy has taken over him. As he races towards his revenge quest against Arthur, the CinemaCon footage also presents Momoa wearing the classic Aquaman orange costume in every shot and ends with the superhero fighting a large but unfinished CGI creature. Right, it's important to understand that James Wan was there. He is a perfectionist. That's why he didn't show off too much. He doesn't want to ruin the effect, even for journalists. So that's great. In recent interviews, Abdul-Mateen II has revealed that Aquaman 2 will show more of Black Manta's personality. This supposedly will include showcasing the villain's leadership skills, which were briefly teased in the beginning of Aquaman. The actor would also go on to tease that Black Manta will get more screen time in the Lost Kingdom, implying that his character will most likely serve as Aquaman's primary antagonist, a theory further corroborated by the character's prevalence in the CinemaCon footage. While many fans praised Black Manta's design in Aquaman, some felt he was underdeveloped and would have been better served in another film. Yes, some people believed that Jeff Johns pumped for him to be squeezed into the first Aquaman rather than having his own movie. A bit like Boba Fett, don't give him his own show. Black Manta is perfect, right? It's like the Master in Doctor Who. Don't give him his own show. It sounds like fun, but it wouldn't work. I'm glad what they did with him. So Warner Brothers was planning a Black Manta solo film after Aquaman. However, it was later scrapped. Good idea. Hopefully, as the CinemaCon footage implies, elements of the Black Manta spin-off will be incorporated into Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It will be. And the character will play more of a role in the 2023 film. So, yes, they didn't have much to tell us about this film, but what they've told us sounds very exciting. Because actually, King Orm, well, not King Orm, the former King Orm, brother of Arthur, Aquaman, have to unite against Black Manta. So this is going to be very, very exciting because I think that Patrick Wilson and Jason Momoa have had great chemistry, screen presence in the first film, and them uniting will be very, very emotional. So bring on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in March of 2023. I can't wait for this movie. It sounds awesome. So we carry on. So bear with me. So let me read you the exact quote from Steve Weintraub about this Superman movie. If you know me, you know how much I love Superman. So when I saw WB Pictures chairman Toby Emmerich tonight, walked right up to him and asked about the next Superman movie. Won't say what he said to me since it might have been off the record, but progress is being made. As I said earlier when I was going down the headlines, is this about a Henry Cavill Man of Steel 2? Or is this about Golden Age Superman? Or, as I suspect, maybe, don't listen to me too deeply about this, but this is just a gut feeling, maybe Henry Cavill's Superman and the Golden Age Superman are one in the same. Wouldn't that be amazing? So that's really cool of Stephen Weintraub. You know, it's really hard for these journalists to pluck up the courage and ask these kind of direct questions. So thank you, Stephen. This is awesome news. And as a big Superman stan, this makes me really happy. So The Rock says that Clint Eastwood, his favorite actor, and that Jaume Colosera said that that's good because he sees Black Adam as the Dirty Harry of the superhero world. Yes, there's a lot of good footage from this movie. We got more of this film than Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom because it's the next movie. So the promotions are coming hard soon. This is what we got. I'll read you more about this, but this is what Jeff Snyder, the journalist, said. Black Adam trailer. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn as a god. I kneel before no one. You can be this world's destroyer or its savior. There are heroes and there are villains. And heroes don't kill people. Well, I do. I love that line. That's brilliant. BA dispensing his own brand of justice. So that's awesome. But we'll get into deeper conversations. WB's Toby Emmerich presents The Rock with the entertainment icon of the decade. Nobody works harder. Nobody cares more. He wishes Dwayne a happy early birthday and says the best is yet to come. As I say, you know, whatever you think about Toby Emmerich, the show he put on, the WB panel he put on, and I'm not just talking about DC, the Elvis footage, wow, chef's kiss. The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie with Timothy Chalamet is a musical. We saw him singing. It looks amazing. So, wow. So, let's now go to the Hollywood Reporter and news of the Batman 2 finally being greenlit, which is something we were a little bit nervous about, but it's happening. I'm excited. And the final thing I did in celebration last night when all the CinemaCon was over was rewatch The Batman. What a film. It continues. It's going to go on for quite a few years, and I'm really happy about that. Like button if you're watching live as well, please. The Batman sequel set with Robert Pattinson and director Matt Reeves. Warner Brothers announced the follow-up at CinemaCon Monday night by Ryan Parker, Pamela McClintock. Warner Brothers and DC announced Tuesday night at CinemaCon that The Batman is officially getting a sequel. As Warner Brothers delivered the studio's highly anticipated presentation, Matt took one of our most iconic, beloved superheroes and delivered a fresh vision. Warner Brothers movie chief Toby Emmerich revealed at CinemaCon Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, and the entire team will be taking audiences back to Gotham with The Batman 2. Now, I don't know if that's an official title. No release date was announced. The Batman released in early March of this year and went on to be a huge critical and box office success. thus far. It is the highest grossing film of 2022 with a total worldwide take of 759 million, they wish. That is an amazing target, great box office for a first movie. And I'm very happy for my fellow Batman stans, but I'm also a Batman stan, and I love what Rob did and Matt did. It was an amazing film. Pattinson donned the cape and cowl for the first time as the iconic DC superhero. His initial foes included Riddler, played by Paul Dano, and Oswald Oz Cobblepot, aka Penguin, played by Colin Farrell. Zoe Kravitz played Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, and Andy Serkis played Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce Wayne's butler and mentor. Days after the Batman opened on HBO Max, committed to a straight-to-limited series order for the Penguin, with Farrell reprising his role. The spin-off series will be executive produced by Reeves, Dylan Clark Farrell, Daniel Pipsky, Adam Kazan, and Lauren LaFranc, who will serve as showrunner. They've gone through quite a few showrunners, by the way. The news followed. Well, actually, that's not the Penguin. Tell a lie. That was Gotham PD, the ill-fated Gotham PD. I don't know what was going wrong with that, but in the end, they decided to do an Arkham series, a much better idea. The news followed an earlier showing that saw the Batman filmmaker Matt Reeves kick off the morning state of the industry program by thanking cinema owners for keeping the flicker of hope alive when the pandemic struck. He said he believes wholeheartedly in the theatrical experience. Helping to play a role in your success is very important to me, said Reeves, when noting that Batman has earned north of 700 million. The success of the Batman was a true team effort. We could not have gotten to this place without the theatrical experience. For that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. As a lifelong fan of the movies, I treasure what you do, Reeves told theatres earlier in the day. At CinemaCon, there's a sanctuary to be found in the movies. So that's amazing, because I did exclusively tell you last year the reason the Batman was delayed from 2021 to 2022 is because he didn't want to do day and date. And that was a deal breaker for Matt Reeves. So that's why that movie was delayed. He genuinely believes in the theatrical experience. And there was nothing like the experience for me going to see the movie in IMAX. So brilliant from Matt Reeves. So that's that update. So we're finally, no, we're getting a Batman sequel. Hopefully it's not going to be called Batman 2. I'd be very surprised if it's called The Batman 2. It's a lame title, but they're not going to tell us anything. He didn't illuminate us with any details about the movie, so we're in the dark thus far. But I think it's enough for the Batman fans and stans and people who love this character in DC in general to know that his world will continue. We knew that from the HBO Max spin-offs already, but it's just exciting and a relief to know it's happening. Bat Super. Things are going in the right direction. Yes, it was a great panel last night. I was proud to be a DC fan. It was so exciting just hearing all the descriptions, especially the Superman thing as well. Great. So we continue. So I'm going to give you more details now on the footage that was shown from Black Adam. So, yes. Now, you may be wondering why there wasn't more news because we didn't hear nothing about Batgirl. That's interesting because if it's not coming out in 2023, did they even show anything? I know they kind of were showing off Blue Beetle a bit. They didn't show any footage. There's no footage. They've only just started making it, but I think they showed the logo. But nothing much on Batgirl. So when is that film coming? It proves that they're releasing it in cinemas and they haven't decided on a date yet. So basically CinemaCon is for 2022, 2023. So anything beyond that, you're not going to hear about. Kyle Williams, I too am proud to be a DC fan. Hey, fist bump. So Black Adam footage description teases Dwayne Johnson's brutal hero. New CinemaCon footage from Dwayne Johnson's upcoming DCEU movie Black Adam shows the brutal side of the iconic DC Comics antihero by Andy, whose surname I can never pronounce. New footage for Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam movie shows the brutal aspects of the iconic DC Comics antihero. For nearly a decade, Johnson has been attached to bring Black Adam to life. as this would be the character's debut in live action. While Black Adam's solo film has been in development for quite some time, it wasn't until 2021 that principal photography got underway. After years of waiting, fans will finally see Johnson join the DCEU as he takes the famous Shazam baddie and tackles him from an anti-hero perspective. Black Adam will follow the origin story of how Tef Adam becomes the DC legend that fans know and love from the comics. Directed by Jaime Collet-Serra, I never pronounced that name properly, sorry. The DCEU picture will also mark as the cinematic debut of the iconic superhero team, Justice Society of America. Members like Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher will be showing up in Black Adam as they cross paths with Johnson's titular character. Originally slated for July 2029, Black Adam got pushed back to October 21st of this year, as it and several DCU films had to scramble their release dates due to the heavy VFX work that still needed to be completed. This is, of course, not true. It's just the line they're going under. With Black Adam being less than 6 months away from hitting theaters, Warner Brothers is getting fans prepared for Johnson's DCEU debut. Warner Brothers was one of the studios to take part in this year's CinemaCon event, which is currently taking place in Las Vegas. Screen Rant was present to watch brand new footage for Black Adam, which includes some brutal elements of the anti-hero's journey. Check out the full description below. A ship flies over ice as Adam is put in stasis. There are shots of him as a slave before being reborn as a god. Adam says, "I kneel before no one." Dr. Fate says, "I've seen the future. Either you, Black Adam, will destroy this world or be its savior." The footage cuts to Adam walking through a desert and someone shoots a rocket at him. He catches the rocket and it explodes. Wow, that's badass. He survives but looks pissed as electricity crackles around him. The footage also includes shots of the JSA in action. Atom Smasher is in his giant form and runs down the street. Wow. The Hawkman shot from the original trailer is shown. Cyclone is seen inside a ship before cutting to more quick shots. Someone says heroes don't kill people, while Adam replies, "Well, I do." Wow, what a line though. I love it. Then he punches a guy so hard the person flies high into the air, disappears, and dies. Fuck me. If anyone thought this film was going to be MCU-like and tickle you under the chin, you couldn't be more wrong. So this description is so cool, and it really sounds like the awesome movie I always thought it was going to be. Red Panda, the Batman 2 is officially happening. I'm so excited. DC is winning. Yes, I'm glad you're happy, Red Panda. I have read a whole article about that. Yes, definitely aware of the Batman 2 happening. And you missed a bit probably when I was talking about it, but you can rewatch the video later on. While Johnson is headlining the film, Black Adam has quite a big cast of characters that will be seen in the DCEU project. With the Justice Society, Black Adam also stars Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher, Aldis Hodge as Hawkman, Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone, and Pierce Brosnan as Kent Nelson, aka Dr. Fate. Johnson's solo film will also include Sarah Shahi as DC Comics' Adriana Tomaz, who is a university professor and also one of Cardhard's resistance fighters. The villainous DC group Intergang is also confirmed to appear in Black Adam, which becomes the organization's first depiction cinematically. With the massive hype around Black Adam, it will be interesting to see where Warner Brothers takes the character after his first film. Having a global star like Johnson attached definitely means they will utilize him in the future DCEU projects. Depending on how Black Adam is received, well, hopefully, it could be the next DCEU property at HBO Max tries to develop spin-off projects. For with the JSA as a primary option, it will also be intriguing to follow Black Adam's journey after his debut, as it's likely only a matter of time before he and Zachary Levi's Shazam square off. And that's been something, my friends, we've been waiting for. Now, the unofficial plan, I've been told, that Shazam 3 is the movie Black Adam and Zachary Levi's Shazam finally face off in Shazam 3. So that's going to be an exciting movie. Will they still allow David F. Sandberg to direct such a movie? Will the director of Black Adam come in instead? It's going to be very, very interesting. And David F. Sandberg's been announced for a Netflix project as well. So that's interesting. So maybe he's moving on from the DCEU after Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So we will see. So we move on, updating you. So what we got next? Now we're on to Shazam, Fury of the Gods. But we're live, so I'm uploading the video. It's taking its time. Right, let's go. Not the video, but the article. Shazam 2 footage description reveals Wonder Woman cameo details. New footage from the DCEU movie Shazam, Fury of the Gods reveals that Wonder Woman is making a cameo in the Zachary Levi starring sequel by Andy again, whose surname I can't pronounce. New footage from Shazam, Fury of the Gods has been revealed at this year's CinemaCon in Las Vegas. I didn't even know it was in Vegas. In 2019, Shazam, who is one of the most iconic DC Comics heroes of all time, finally made his cinematic debut. Played by Chuck star Zachary Levi, the first Shazam film directed by David F. Sandberg followed the story of young Billy Batson getting godlike powers that activate whenever he shouts, Shazam! Turning him into a grown superhero, but as much as it was a superhero origin story, it was also Billy's journey of accepting his new family. With the 2019 installment being a commercial and critical success, Warner Brothers is continuing the Shazam adventures with the sequel Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Levi is reprising his role as a grown-up Billy, while Asher Angel continues to play the teenage iteration. Originally scheduled to hit theaters on June 23rd, 2023, Warner Brothers recently changed the DCEU schedule and is bringing Shazam, Fury of the Gods to fans earlier. The only good news from all these changes, it will now arrive on December 16th, the very same release date as Avatar 2. How is that going to work out? As Shazam, Fury of the Gods is less than 8 months away, Warner Brothers is starting to give audience members a taste of the highly anticipated sequel. This year's CinemaCon event is currently taking place in Las Vegas, with Warner Brothers as one of the present studios. Screen Rant was on hand to watch brand new footage for Shazam, Fury of the Gods, which includes a very fun Wonder Woman cameo. Check out the full description below. Footage includes Levi Shazam in Paris at a restaurant with Wonder Woman having dinner with him. The hero tells Wonder Woman that he can't commit, and she begins to walk out, but suddenly stops. When she turns around, it is not Gal Gadot, but instead it's Merlin, who warns Shazam in a dream that the Daughters of Atlas is coming for him. The footage also shows a giant dragon landing near them. Wow. Shazam says to Helen Mirren, "Lady, I've seen all the Fast and Furious movies, and it's all about one thing, family." Nothing happens, so Shazam says family again, and the kids all land one by one behind Mirren. How awesome is that? Wow. Now, I actually know this actually confirms the leaks that I brought to you here on Movies TV Mad a month or so ago. So even though we don't see Gal's Wonder Woman here, we will to do a very vital thing near the end of the movie. Shazam, Fury of the Gods has multiple new additions to the cast as heroes take on new threats. The footage alluded to the Daughters of Atlas. That was a reference to Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, but portraying the villains Hespera and Calypso, respectively. While her character hasn't been revealed yet, Rachel Zegler is also joining the DCEU, reportedly as the third Daughter of Atlas, meaning she could be a third villain in the sequel. With Shazam, Fury of the Gods continuing the adventures of the Shazam family, there is an inevitable meeting between Levi's hero and Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. Like the other DCEU films, Black Adam was present at CinemaCon to present new footage from the movie. Whether or not the December Shazam prequel will set up their future clash remains to be seen. I believe it will in a post-credit scene. It's worth noting that, like Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Black Adam had its release date shuffled too, as it's arriving on October the 21st, less than 2 months before the Shazam sequel. Time will tell what is in store for the two rivals, as Shazam, Fury of the Gods arrives later this year. One of the few good things that Toby Emmerich's ever done is schedule Shazam, Fury of the Gods and Black Adam back to back, October and December, back to back of each other. That is really, really good because it promotes this Shazam universe, and I'm really excited about that element. Red Panda, I'm glad you seem so hopeful now, Mick. We all should have faith in DC again. It's extraordinary how much DC means for us. Listen, DC means a hell of a lot. And as I've been saying for a while, the issue isn't necessarily with the movies, but what's happening behind the scenes. But as someone with an entertainment YouTube channel, if I bring delays of a Flash movie, if I know the director, who I don't even think was here for the Flash movie at CinemaCon, I could be wrong about that, hasn't said a word, has only commented about an It prequel series on HBO Max, then I have to bring that news to you. I have to tell you how frustrated I am about those delays, how frustrated I am that rumors are the superhero is replacing Superman, which clearly there's more to it than that, and people are not feeding you the right information. These are not good things. The delays, Ezra Miller, all these things. And I have to bring you these things directly and honestly. It doesn't mean I don't love DC. I don't love the DCEU. I'm not proud of it. But I have to be honest and direct when things are going awry. I didn't know what was going to happen. They are claiming they're going to release these movies and put them out there. When I did explain at the top of the show that David Zaslav said in a huge question and answer session with journalists that they are going to expand the DC live action universe to a long-lasting brand. Very exciting. What that exactly means, I don't know. So that's Shazam, Fury of the Gods. We've just read a description for you. Now we go to the Flash movie, which obviously is the most important DCEU film ever because it reboots the universe and starts again. How is this going to work? I do believe that, and this is just a theory, so this could be totally wrong. With Andy Muschietti silence, I do believe another director will go back and do some extensive reshoots for the Flash movie. At this moment in time, and apparently Ezra Miller was at CinemaCon, I'm not sure. At this moment in time, I don't foresee them replacing Ezra Miller, but that could be a thing. But it doesn't look like that's the case right now. But I do believe they will do extensive reshoots to the Flash movie with another director. It wouldn't surprise me if that director was J.J. Abrams. We'll have to wait and see. That's a gut feeling. It's a theory. No one's told me that. We will have to wait and see. The Flash footage description, Keaton's Batman costume and Batcycle show. New footage from Warner Brothers' upcoming The Flash movie starring Ezra Miller as the DCEU's Barry Allen has screened at this year's CinemaCon. Again, by Andy, whose surname I can never pronounce. He's been busy. Fresh footage of Michael Keaton's Batman in 2023's The Flash has been shown at this year's CinemaCon, while Grant Gustin has been portraying the fastest man alive on the CW's The Flash TV show for nearly 8 seasons. The DCEU has featured Barry Allen since Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice in 2016, played by Ezra Miller. This iteration of the Scarlet Speedster is still early in his career as a superhero. After being cast in October 2014, Miller has been attached to star in their own solo film for nearly 8 years. After being stuck in an extensive development phase, the Flash film is finally getting closer to becoming a reality. Directed by Andy Muschietti, The Flash will follow Barry's adventures as he explores the multiverse. While not a direct adaptation of DC's Flashpoint saga, it will be loosely based on the game-changing storyline. Ben Affleck's Batman is back for the DCEU picture, but he isn't the only Caped Crusader showing up. After betraying the DC icon in Batman and Batman Returns, Michael Keaton will be reprising his version of Bruce Wayne in The Flash. While The Flash got pushed back from November 2022 to June 2023, new footage was screened during this year's CinemaCon event that is taking place in Las Vegas. Screen Rant was on hand to watch the footage, which revealed several exciting details about the DCEU film. Check out the full description below. Time has a pattern in the footage. With multiple shots of Barry waiting in line, Barry ends up running back in time to see his mother, Nora Allen, be killed. Keaton's Batman at one point says, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts!" I mean, that's iconic. I can't believe they're referencing that. So that's just great. I'm glad they did it. That's a great Easter egg, isn't it? With a smile on his face, wow. With the quote being from the original Batman '89 film. He does this while being in his Batman costume without his cowl. As expected, Bruce has grey hair, making it clear that this is an older Caped Crusader. Michael Shannon Zod also makes a quick appearance while giving a first look at Sasha Calais' Supergirl. the footage also reveals Keaton's Batman riding a bat cycle. Wow. So it's Keaton's Batman riding a bat cycle. How exciting is that? While a car flies over him in slow motion, there's also a shot at Keaton's multiple Batman bat suits in Wayne Manor, all being variations of the 89 costume. That explains the costume we've seen having little, defined differences. That explains that. So this description sounds amazing, awesome. It still doesn't tell us a great deal about this movie. We've heard a lot through leaks. We're going to have to wait and see. Are they actually adapting Final Crisis as well? Which is also very awesome. Now, Final Crisis is probably happening because Zack Snyder teased it last year with a little picture. If you remember, he was eating a turkey on Thanksgiving, and behind him was the Final Crisis comic. So Zack let the cat out of the bag. Naughty boy. As with previous CinemaCons, the flash footage will not be something that's released online, as it was only shown to attendees at the event. While Keaton's Batman is heavily featured, Affleck's DCEU version was nowhere to be seen. Based on what was shown today, it's likely that future trailers for The Flash will include Affleck's Batman in some capacity. Even though Calais Supergirl appeared, it's still unclear which Girl of Steel this is, as Warner Brothers hasn't stated if this is Kara Zor-El or a new take on the heroine. I still think it's Flashpoint Supergirl. They've literally nerfed Flashpoint Superman. Surprise, surprise. They've nerfed Superman, it looks like, in this movie anyway. And it's going to be Supergirl, Flashpoint Supergirl, and not Flashpoint Superman. With two Batmen and one Supergirl involved, the Flash movie will be exploring lots of corners of the DC universe besides Barry's multiverse exploration. For Keaton, this will be only the first DCEU project for him, as he's already confirmed to reprise his character in Leslie Grace's Batgirl movie, which wasn't mentioned at the convention. His return in The Flash is one of the most anticipated parts of the project, and his prominence in the CinemaCon footage demonstrates what a big selling point he is. Yeah, he is a big selling point because people were screaming like they were screaming at the fucking Beatles when he shows up. Wow. Demonstrate what a big selling point he is. It sounds like Keaton's version of Batman will have a lot of fun in this movie, and that there will be plenty of callbacks to his previous appearances. With over a year to go for the Flash movie, at least fans have gotten a new taste of what to expect in Barry Allen's next DCU adventure. I'm very excited. I hope we see it. I hope more things don't go wrong for it. All I can say is fingers crossed, and nothing is ever cemented and secure over at Warner Brothers. Right, where are we? John, it seems like a lot of people are excited for the Flash movie because of Michael Keaton and not Ezra. Listen, when you hear an actor's doing what he's doing, it's difficult. But I'll give you the Chloe Sullivan from Smallville analogy. Alison Mack, I respect for her performance as the character, but she's not my hero. She never was my hero. Chloe was my hero. Chloe was this young woman who went to school, wanted to go to school. A great example to young people. She was excited to work at the Torch. So even though Alison Mack did some terrible things, Chloe Sullivan didn't. So I can still hero worship Chloe Sullivan and not even think about Alison Mack. And this is what I think about The Flash. So, I loved Ezra Miller's The Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. I was okay with it. So I look up to The Flash and not Ezra Miller. So people are very excited for Michael Keaton and not Ezra. Of course, people are excited for Michael Shannon Zod being in the movie. We'll read an article about that very shortly. So, of course. But ultimately, it looks like he stays in the movie. It kind of looks to me that it was either Andy Muschietti or Ezra Miller. And of course, Ezra Miller won the way. That's life. That's corporate business. That's the entertainment industry. We'll have to wait and see for more developments on that. I am excited to see Ezra as the Flash. I'm excited for the whole thing. I'm not excited for more one thing than the other, because I can look up to Ezra Miller's Barry Allen and the Flash without looking up to Ezra Miller. And if more people in the world we live in today could see film like that, I think there wouldn't be so much divisive conversations on social media. Man of Steel Zod returns to DCEU for Multiverse Flash movie. Michael Shannon, who's portrayed General Zod in Man of Steel, is making his return to the DCEU through the upcoming The Flash movie. Guess who wrote the article? Andy, whose surname I can never pronounce. Sorry, Andy, I'm not even going to try. I just can't. Michael Shannon is returning to the DCEU with his General Zod from Man of Steel, set to appear in The Flash. The DCEU is getting closer to finally releasing the Flash film, which has been in development since October 2014, nearly 8 years ago. Ezra Miller was cast as the first cinematic iteration of Barry Allen, better known as the fastest man alive in the DC universe. Though hired almost a decade ago, The Flash got stuck in development hell as the project went through multiple directors and writers before finally landing with Andy Muschietti and Christina Hodgson, respectively. Similar to the Flash TV show, the film will be relying on one of the biggest aspects of the Flash's mythology, which is traveling through the multiverse, taking a few cues from DC's Flashpoint storyline. The Flash finds Barry trying to change the fate of his mother, Nora Allen, who was murdered during his childhood by traveling back in time. Barry accidentally gets twisted into an alternative reality, which is how Michael Keaton's Batman returns for the first time since 1992. The Flash will also introduce Supergirl to the big screen for the first time since Helen Slater's film in 1984. I love Helen Slater's Supergirl, with Sasha Calle donning the famous costume. However, it appears there is another Kryptonian making their way into the Flash. Michael Shannon, who portrayed the villainous General Zod in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, is officially reprising the part in the Flash during this year's CinemaCon event. Screen Rant saw new footage from Muschietti's DC picture, and it featured a reveal of Shannon's infamous Superman villain. Exactly how General Zod factors into the Flash storyline remains to be seen. What is likely to be the case is Shannon making a brief appearance, unless the Man of Steel star was more involved with the production. I'm going to explain to you about this. It's more than a cameo. Even though General Zod died in the 2013 installment, Shannon's presence in The Flash might be made possible through time travel if Barry somehow managed to travel back to the past when Superman took on the Kryptonian warlord. Another option would be more compelling, is if Shannon is playing a General Zod doppelganger in the same world as Keaton's Batman. This could also stage an opportunity for Calais Supergirl to perhaps have a showdown with this version of General Zod, assuming that this Girl of Steel is from the same alternate universe. Either way, it's fun to see the Flash taking on some of the earlier DCEU players, and Shannon's take on the DC baddie was one of the best aspects of Man of Steel. Couldn't agree more, which only makes his reappearance even more exciting. Even though the Flash film got pushed back from its November 22 release date to June 2023, fans will have a lot to look forward to when the film premieres next summer, if it does. I hope it does. So let me explain the premise of Michael Shannon in The Flash. What happens is he kills Superman, the baby Kal-El, as a baby in an alternate universe, not in our universe, right? It's not possible, right? Right, so in an alternate universe, he kills Superman, right? This is how I know it. There's another theory going around as well. We'll get into it. So in this alternate universe that Barry's created, he comes to Earth, there's no Superman to stop him, and he's basically winning, right? He breaks Supergirl's neck, he breaks Michael Keaton's Batman's neck, he wins. But it's in an alternate universe. When Barry fixes the Flashpoint timeline using the Speed Force, everything will be okay. I do have another theory which connects Michael Shannon Zod and Sasha Calais Supergirl. What if General Zod, aka Shannon, is this Supergirl's father? It is a possibility. Maybe he cloned her to stand by his side in this invasion, and she betrayed him. She turned against him. She wanted to be a force for good, like Kal-El. That could be a thing. So watch out for that. That's my theory. I haven't heard that. But Kara Zor-El, a.k.a. Sasha Calais, may actually be Michael Shannon, a.k.a. General Zod's daughter. And that's maybe why they go head to head. So it's interesting. There could be another theory, of course. Basically, Michael Shannon, may change the timeline. It may not just be Ezra Miller's The Flash. Maybe by going back in time. Maybe he goes back in time and somehow he changes something by killing Kal-El as a baby on Krypton, comes to Earth, gives him a better chance of winning, him conquering the Earth. He's not conquering the Earth for nothing, of course. As we saw in Man of Steel, he wanted to take the world engine and create the Kryptonian atmosphere to make all these Kryptonian refugees who are inside Kal-El using the Codex basically be extracted from Kal and the Codex and basically make Earth their new home. That was his plan then. That will be his plan again. Very, very interesting. Having Michael Shannon back, having Feora back, it's going to be very, very exciting. And that's my theory about that. So I think that's a wrap on all the news. Let me just go through anything else. I'll just check the Black Adam stuff to make sure I've got everything for you, because it's important for me that I've told you everything, because I'm so excited for it. Because some journalists describe things better than others. So I'll just read you what's listed here. Futuristic ship flies through the frozen tundra. I think we've already explained that, yes. Black Adam is in a water tube. Black Adam, I was a slave when I died. When I was reborn, I was God. Dr. Fate tells Adam his powers have never done anything but wreak havoc. He opens a mirror portal like Doctor Strange. Doctor like Doctor Strange. But by the way, Dr. Fate was Strange. So if anyone's ripping off anyone, MCU fans, before you start, Strange is ripping on the iconic Dr. Fate being played by the iconic Pierce Brosnan. How awesome is that? Slave Black Adam's body is thrown in a pit ages ago. In modern day, he awakes in a tomb and unleashes electricity on the Black Ops team. We've seen that at DC Fandom. In the desert, Black Adam flies and battles helicopters and destroys them. He smashes them together and walks away from a fire explosion. That must be awesome to watch. He catches a rocket, we know that, and throws it back at his enemies. Action shots of the Justice Society of America, and Hawkman confronts Black Adam. There are heroes and villains. Hawkman says, heroes don't kill people. Well, I do, Black Adam says. So that, you are updated with the DC live action CinemaCon WB panel. And all I can say, everyone, from what I heard yesterday, as I said earlier, I was up till 4 or 5 in the morning because in the end, I wanted to be up to receive any big news. Ultimately, the biggest news was that all these 4 movies are going to be fucking amazing if only the people making them can fucking behave themselves. Especially you, Ezra. Please, enough. Go to Hawaii. Enjoy yourself. But stop hurting people. Stop losing it, my friend. And if you need help, please get help. For us, the fans. I apologize, Ezra, if I've been disrespectful to you. But at the end of the day, DC is important to us. And we want to see these movies. Stop messing about, please. If not for you, do it for us. And do it for your career as well. So I'm really excited for these 4 DC movies. It pretty much put the kind of show Kevin Feige puts on for the MCU. So it looks like the future is bright. The future may not be the DCEU. I don't know what Zaslav means when he's talking about establishing a long brand for DC, what he means, but they clearly got huge plans. So today's headlines are that Zaslav and Discovery have huge plans for DC, that a Superman movie is progressing well, and there's more to come about that. Whether it's a Cavill movie or in a Golden Age movie that we had leaks for, I simply do not know. We have read out multiple descriptions for Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and The Flash. I'm hyped. I could talk about this all day, but then I would probably just faint with heat exhaustion. So it's been absolutely a pleasure to bring you this positive DC live action news. It's been amazing. We have a lot to look forward to, and I can't wait. Ronnie Dodge, hey mate, hope if Toby said to Frosty about Superman movie is in the process. Right. Yes, you can check out the video if you've just come in, Ronnie. I've spoken about everything that happened. And yes, I did speak about Frosty discussing what he bravely asked Toby Emmerich. So actually, Emmerich has told Frosty a lot of stuff, but Frosty on Twitter just said, all I can say is that it's progressing well. Yes, a Superman movie is progressing well. As I said just a minute ago, whether it's a Cavill movie or a Golden Age movie or one in the same, we simply don't know. So all of a sudden, we have Zaslav and Discovery. We've heard some great stuff about these 4 upcoming live-action movies. I'm excited. We will discuss this further in tonight's, and I'm not going to make any promises in what time I'll be here, but I will be here eventually for Movies TV Mad Live. And I can't wait to have more discussions about these movies, the future of the DC Extended Universe, and DC live action in general. Ronnie Dodge, The Flash sounds nuts, especially Keaton saying you want to get nuts. Let's get nuts. Yes, Ronnie, that's happening. I've done my impression of it. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. But apparently this time, he smiles while he says it in the Batman costume. In the original Batman 89, he's Bruce Wayne when he says it. So, gets nuts, let's get nuts. And apparently has long hair and a beard. I didn't know about the long hair and the beard, but cool. Sounds amazing. This has been the DCEU Daily. I'm Nick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wife. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. I will see you again later with Movies TV Mad Live. Please join me. Please put your comments there so I can react to them. Let's celebrate DC live action. Let's debate what's to come. And let's get very, very hyped. Ronnie Dodge, see you this afternoon. See you later, Ronnie. Until then, goodbye. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. See you later. Thank you, everyone. It's so exciting, isn't it?